Welcome to Victorious Living. Are you ready to unlock your full potential and experience the abundant life God has planned for you? We all face challenges, but on Victorious Living, we will equip you with practical tools and inspiring stories to help you live a life of victory. Let's prepare ourselves to learn something new today. Before we jump in, let's spread the victory. Share this video with someone who needs a fresh perspective. You were created for greatness. Let's dive in and discover how to live a life of victory.
Welcome to Victorious Living. I want to tell you that you're not watching us by chance. You know, God has a great plan for you, and you need to live victorious because He has put everything together on this planet so that we can be victorious. Today, I have an amazing guest and a great story. I'm sure that story is going to inspire you. Without wasting any more time, let me welcome Jack. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
You came from Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Oh, yes.
He traveled so far to be with you today, and we're going to hear your story. And I remember we worked for the same movie, and I somehow could find your post about your car wreck that you were in and how you survived and you came to the normal life. That actually triggered my curiosity, and then I searched and reached out to you. After many months of effort, you are here today. So you are a miracle that you are here today.
It is
You're
definitely
alive
a miracle.
and you're here. Two miracles. So let's talk about you. Please introduce yourself to the audience because they don't know you, many of them. So please, over to you.
Well, my name is Zachary Vasquez. I'm a model, actor, and a fitness influencer as well. And I live in Florida, Tampa Bay. Born and raised, but obviously I like to travel, for gigs. Come out to Nevada or California or Georgia. Always around somewhere.
Yes. Before we go to the story how you had the car wreck, tell us about your childhood. So you always wanted to be an actor?
Yes. Actually, I wanted to be a professional wrestler. That's what got me in the gym. So, all those old school, The Rock, Hulk Hogan, Steve Austin, all those guys. So they inspired me. And obviously Rocky too, Rocky inspired me, all those fitness guys. And that's what made me want to be a fitness person, but then be an entertainer too. So that's, wrestling is basically like a fitness acting type thing. So yeah, so ever since I was a little kid, those guys inspired me, and that's what got me into the gym. And then from there, I was like, hey, this is kind of cool because, wrestling's not real, it's fake. So it's all acting.
So when you exactly started working, like on screen?
I want to say the first, about when I was 18. Yeah. I got into mostly fitness modeling and then, a couple little bit roles here and there. So
I asked you a very nice question and you answered me very well. I said, you're so good looking. Why do you work in horror movies?
Because you get tired of the pretty boy stuff, It's like, it seems like all the fun stuff is in the horror film. So why not, And I've had a lot of cool experiences. Some horror movies, I've actually gotten to play 2 or 3 characters at the same time, like myself and then with a mask,
So thank God for Nicole. Because of her, I came to know you, and she's a very good friend, and she helped me in my first movie, and I was very new to the city, very new, and she was such a good girl, like helping me, and she practically did 90% of my premiere arrangements, everything,
Nice.
like printing cards for me, reaching out to, even taking me for nails.
Wow.
She was so good to me. So
She's
thank
great.
God.
She's very talented too.
Yes,
She's a hard
thank
worker.
God for her. I wanted to bring her to the program, but she's busy. So coming back to your story, how you had that accident?
Well, it was 2020. Everybody talks about how bad the year 2020 was with the pandemic and stuff. So, and we're in the lockdowns. Most places were closed in 2020. So it's ironic that would happen. But I had an acting gig on the east coast of Florida, which is Daytona area. And I got hit head on by a drunk driver. It was, I believe, 65 miles an hour was the speed limit. So it was pretty fast. And he was drunk, high, and on pills and driving into oncoming traffic. And unfortunately, I was the lucky one that he caught. And I have no recollection of it. It was just 1 minute you're driving, the next you wake up in a hospital. Like, what happened? Yeah, but
So you were unconscious?
Oh, yeah.
For days?
Oh, yeah. I was in ICU for a couple weeks. So.
Wow. Because when I saw your picture, it was like, it was difficult to even understand that how did you survive? Like, it looked really bad. I think you will see the picture as we show you while he's talking, and you will see how bad that accident was. So, did you have any near-death experience or something?
Yeah, and you know, it's like the doctors and everybody told me if I wasn't a fitness person that was healthy and in good shape and you know built, they said I wouldn't survive that accident because it's like, you know, when you train, you're training all your life in the gym, like you're training for a war, like you're a soldier, like training hard. You never know when you might actually need all of that training to survive. And that's what happened in that circumstance. It's a good thing I was in good condition because there was a lot of blood loss and a lot of injuries and, you know, having a physique and muscle mass helps you take some of that impact. So, yeah, it was, I have no recollection. It was like, 1 minute you're driving and the next you wake up in a hospital. Like what happened? Like
So many weeks had passed away by the time you came back to your senses. How many weeks?
it was I total I was in the hospital for 6 weeks and I don't remember the first 2 weeks at all.
Okay.
But I mean it was bad. Like I've had a lot of injuries. Like head, neck, and spine were good for the most part with the exception of a little bit of a head injury, but not too bad. But you know, when you think of any auto accident, head, neck, and spine are the first things you think of. And for me, it was more limb injuries. So it was almost like whenever people see me, they think I was been in like a motorcycle accident because it's very similar to that. But so I don't know if like last minute I just had like a reflex to brace for impact or something, but it wasn't anything like nothing like this. It was like, which is why the whole right side of my body is bionic.
Listening to you, I feel that having a fit body is always good.
Very important. That's the thing. You just never know when you might need it. And like, not only that, but for the blood loss as well, you know, it's like your cardio is important to be able to endure something like that. But yeah, no, it was crazy. It was.
So did you have any vision, any dream of your life or something?
You know, the only thing that I remember when I was out and it felt like a dream, it took me back to my wedding day. I got married at the ancient Spanish monastery in Miami, Florida. And it was like I revisited that moment. And it was really bizarre because it was literally like I was reliving my wedding, and then I wake up in a hospital. Like
perhaps it was a subconscious thing that gave you the strength to live again.
I think so, yeah, because you know it's like we're not gonna go out yet. You know, like I have this to live for. This is important to me, so I'm gonna fight for it.
So how long have you been married?
At the time, I was married for a year.
Okay, newly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I just got married in February of 2020. The accident was in September of 2020. So
that was like a hope giver that I have to live for the marriage.
Absolutely, yeah.
Wow,
because you know you draw your strength from anything, whether it be your kids, your loved ones, whoever it may be. It's like gives you that extra boost, like the will to live. The will to live is a very strong thing. So although I was physically in better condition than most people to overcome something like that and to survive something like that, it's really important, like what you got going on in your heart and in your mind, to come on the other side of that and to really hold on for whatever the purpose is.
So 18th of June 2019, I passed out. And in the ICU, I realized that I would have died. But before I came back to my senses, I saw a child. I think that's my child who passed away a few years before. And he told me that, why are you here? Your time hasn't come. And I came back to my body.
Yeah.
And I'm in front of you, like I lived.
Yeah.
So that is why I was very curious that whether you had something during that moment when you were not conscious, you had something.
That is the only recollection I have. I mean, like, I heard the 911 call, the gentleman that pulled over to call 911 after the accident. And he was talking to me and talking to the 911 dispatcher at the same time. And I was responsive to him the whole time. And I don't remember any of that. None of that. But what I do remember is that vision that I had taking me back to my wedding ceremony.
Do you feel God saved you for a reason?
Absolutely, 100%.
Would you like to say something to those people, perhaps in hospitals and fighting for life, or in ICU, maybe hearing you, or somebody in their family members who are fighting for life? What would you tell them?
God has a plan for everyone. So, I mean, even if we don't understand why we're going through what we're going through now, you have to always trust and believe in the bigger picture and that's God's plan for you. And whether it makes sense or not, you have to trust in God and believe in His plan, and just go with it. Because I mean, I came out on the other side. It was a lot of work, but
How much time it took to become normal?
Let's see, I got back into the gym in December. So it was like a good 9 months, because I was in the hospital 6 weeks. I was in a wheelchair for 3 months. And then to get my strength back took a long time, because you had to take baby steps with the injuries and all that. But
9 months. It's like a child coming out of the womb. Wow.
And it was a long
So what
journey.
was your feeling during that painful moment, those painful moments?
Well, like when I woke up in the hospital, it's like my first thought was like, is this a dream? What's going on? Because I wear contact lenses, so they took my lenses out, and I'm very blind. I wear a -750 prescription. So without my lenses, I don't know what was going on. I was blurry. That was the first thing. The second thing, I had wires in my teeth because I had broken my jaw. So I wake up, I'm in a hospital, I've got no vision, I've got wires in my teeth, and then I was eating out of my nose because I had a straw in my nose to eat, because I had internal injuries. So anything that I would swallow would go into my lungs. So I had to eat out of my nose for a whole month. So that wasn't fun. But I had so many casts because I had my right arm was broken, my right leg that is skin graft, and my left ankle. So I'm laying in the hospital bed all casted up, and I'm like, I thought I was paralyzed. I'm like, am I paralyzed? I can't move nothing. I'm super weak. I'm just laying there, and they're like, nurse comes over, like, can you wiggle your toes? Like, yeah, like, okay, you're good. You just have a lot of fractures. I was like, well, that's good. So in my mind, it's like I wasn't dead and I wasn't paralyzed. So I knew there was a chance, I knew it was going to be a long journey ahead of me, because when I was in high school, I worked in sports medicine. So I was the athletic trainer for the football team, the wrestling team, and the basketball team.
Wow.
And I saw all kinds of athletic injuries, broken bones, torn muscles, separated joints. And I know if you put in the work, you can come on the other side of this. I mean, for me, I was like, okay, I've got this wrong with me. I've got this wrong with me. This is going to be a lot of work. But I knew that it's achievable. You just have to put in the work. Like, the physical therapy is key. So based on my background with sports medicine, I knew, I was like, once I can start doing exercises, I can rehab myself and get out of this. But it was an unbelievable amount of work. It was 4 rounds of physical therapy a day. Literally,
wow, that's a lot.
In the morning, after lunch, late afternoon, and then before bed. And sleep, wake up, repeat. And that's all I did for like 2 months straight before I was able to get a little bit of more strength and mobility, and then start doing a little bit of lightweight training. But
wow.
it was unbelievable, because I had 3 broken limbs at the same time. I couldn't even get in and out of a wheelchair without a spot. This is the only good limb I had. So, yeah.
What would you say to those people who drink and drive?
Don't drink and drive. It's not worth it. I mean, nowadays we've got Uber, or sleep on the ground. I don't care, but don't drink and drive, because, man.
Thank you for joining us today, and I hope you were blessed by this message. Let's use this encouragement to spread hope and light, not only in our own lives, but also in our families and communities. If this message resonated with you, leave a comment and let us know how God is working in your lives. Stay victorious and be blessed.